Hey y'all, it's Richard with Rip One Outdoors. Got a little product here I wanted to talk to you about. A product that we bought out of necessity of something was eating our peas up at night. That something was deer. And you may not be having a problem with deer, but you may be having a problem in your garden with raccoons, with armadillo, with squirrels and whatnot. I believe this will help you. But it's called the Qualirey, if I'm pronouncing that right. The Qualirey outdoor motion sensor alarm. And it has gunshots, it has dog barking and growling, and you can even record your own alarm if you want to. But we're just using whatever comes on the system, and we find it's been working real good. I just wanted to share this information with you. Y'all hang around. We're going to show you some of the specs and features and close-ups and show you how it operates. Okay, y'all, we're not going to waste no time dilly-dallying around. We're going to get right into it. We got the Qualirey 4-piece solar outdoor motion sensor with alarm. And we found we needed something like this. Whenever we woke up one morning, we come out here and we found that the deer had eaten a lot of our Mississippi cream peas up. So I got to looking into all the different deterrents that I could use. I thought about one of these floppy men, you know, these men that go up and they down and they swing their arms and all this. They use them to buy the car washes and buy the businesses and all to attract your attention. Thought about something like that, and I even saw on YouTube where some people found that was very effective to keep the deer out. So I thought about that. And then I found something had been popping up on my YouTube and Facebook, but it was about these systems like this that would come in and where deer would come in and it would set off that motion sensor, and the lights would start blinking here and gunshots would go off. First thing happens, a gunshot goes off. Then dogs start barking, and they don't sound like your Yorkies or Pomeranians or whatever. They sound like Rottweilers. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna show you the modes of operation for it. It has modes that you can record. You can record your voice saying, "Get out of here," or something like that, you know, or sirens blasting or whatever. I didn't want to get into that part of it. I want something that's simple. I want something that's easy and something that works right out of the box. This is your power and mode buttons right here in the lower right corner. If you press it one time, that turns on the 24-hour motion sensor with alarm. If you press it 2 times, it turns on the motion sensor flash and alarm at night, which is what I like to use because I don't really want shadows and limbs moving and everything else to turn it on out here in the daytime, because shadows will set off motion sensor alarms. If you press it 3 times, it's a cyclic flash and alarm every 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes, it's going to set off a dog barking, and well, nobody wants that, especially if you got it close to your window there at the house. Press 4 times, and that powers it off. So what I do, if I want to turn it on, I just press it twice, such as here. 1, 2. Okay, that is nighttime only, so it's not going to be alarming out here in the daytime. Now let's turn it on. I'm going to show you what the alarm sounds like. Yeah, and it goes for, I'll let it run. There you go. You want to turn the volume down some? You can turn the volume down right here. I just leave it wide open. I want to scare the deer all the way back through the woods there. All right. Turned it off. It comes with a little remote control. That's probably going to be handy. I haven't fooled with the remote controls yet, but I'm sure it works good. Power. Talk about power. Whenever you first buy the unit, it's got a little plug right here in the back. You can lift it up, a little waterproof plug, and it comes with a little USB adapter, doohickey, and it's going to plug right into the back, 5 volt, I believe it is. Once you give it that initial charge, then you put it out here in the sunlight, the solar panel is gonna keep it charged up. I kinda like that. That's out of sight and out of mind. You don't have to go out there and worry about batteries and something. Now let's talk about mounting. It comes with these little pieces right here. It's a 2-piece thing. I just do that for packaging, whatever. And you're gonna drive this in the ground, and then all you gotta do is set it on there just like that. And I drive it kind of like on an angle like this, so as it will shoot like straight out here. If you drive it straight down, it's gonna be shooting down at the deer's feet. Whether that means anything or not, I don't know, but this is the way I figured it'd be best. If I mounted it kind of like that, like that. Like I want to catch something way out yonder walking into it. I've tested this thing out to 30 and 35 feet, just walk into it and see when it sets it off. Out to 30 and 35 feet is what I've tested it for me. Last but not least, I wanted to mention to you that the options that this comes in as far as your purchase is concerned. I bought the 4-piece units for $78.99. This is off of Amazon. I'm going to put the link down in Amazon there for y'all to find. It comes as to a 2-piece unit for $40.99, and you can buy 8 units for $134.99. Let's talk just a few minutes about who would need this and who maybe wouldn't need this. I can tell you this, I follow some YouTubers that plant, and they plant 10, 20, up to 100-acre fields and stuff like this. This wouldn't be very effective for them. They would have to buy many, many units. But if you knew where your deer was coming in at, like here, I know exactly where my deer's coming in from. They coming in from these woods over here, the old railroad track back there behind me. That's all NASA buffer zone. We're in South Mississippi, located close to Picayune. But that's where my deer's coming in from. They won't be coming in from over there towards the house. I don't have to worry about putting anything over there. But this wood line out here, I gotta pretty much wrap that wood line up with sensors. If you've got a small backyard garden and you're having problems with animals coming in there and boogering your garden up, that's something you may want to consider. But like I say, if you've got big acreage, I don't know about that. You see the size of my little garden here. My rows are 120 foot long. I'll show you some of that in a minute. 120 feet long, and it's probably about 120 feet wide there. Yeah. So that's the size of my garden. So I got 4-piece units. So far, I don't see where I need any more. And it's been working with 100% positive effectiveness ever since I've installed it. Hadn't seen one deer track in this garden right here. At $78.99 for this 4-piece unit, how much does that weigh according to how much you got invested here in fertilizing seed and time, you know, gas and tractor and stuff like that? To me, it's a no-brainer. All right, let's just go out here and let's set the thing up. Let's do a little bit of testing on it. I'll show y'all that. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna show y'all the simplicity of getting it installed. Just drive this little stake in the ground right there. Make sure you put the bottom towards the bottom. This is the bottom. It's got the little buttons right here. About like that. Maybe back angle, but you get the picture. All right, let's turn it on. Okay. It's gonna go off in just a minute. While we're letting it run through its routine, it's gonna do that for a cycle. But I'll show y'all, here's what the deer did to my peas. And they clipped them off. And once they clip them off, y'all that farm peas, I mean, you know they ain't no good after that. And I can tell you, I planted them with the Hoss planter. And every one of these things, these Mississippi cream peas come up. Every one. I'm gonna say that the deer took out probably 35% of the crop. We're starting right over yonder. That's the Mississippi cream peas. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of Mississippi cream peas. Over there, that other row over there, that's zipper creams. Then there's a row of little sunflowers. They got into sunflowers too. What they didn't get into was my zipper creams right here. 3 rows. They didn't get into them for some reason, but look at them, y'all, they blooming. Ain't they pretty? But maybe because they were older or something or another, but they got in them young tender ones over yonder. They also got into my beans here and run a few of those out. Those beans are blooming. They got young beans on them now. So I've had this installed for about 2 weeks now. And so far it has worked, I would say, amazingly good. We got a good rain last night, and I don't mean to be like Joan Under or Gourdbine, but I sure wish we could have some more. We got 2 tents. There's people just a few miles, my sister and them just a few miles from here. They got 2 and 3 inches of rain. But I don't have any control over that. So let's walk around behind the tractor here and let's set the thing off. There we go. Show you my setup on them. So I got that one there. I got one here. Now it's not going to kick on right now because I got the power turned off. Looking, seeing if that was a deer track, but it's not. I told y'all I wouldn't want to tell y'all no lies. I hadn't. We'll come back and talk about the crow here in a minute. Got one here. And got one here. And that's the perimeter. Why don't I have one down here? Well, I just don't think deer is going to come from this way, okay? I think the deer is going to come from, like, just funnel in from this area right here because I've lived here all my life. My daddy had a garden right up here. Daddy never had to have anything like this. Daddy only had to deal with rabbits and squirrels and stuff like that. But he didn't have to worry about deer because at the time, there was no deer in this area. If we wanted to deer hunt, we had to go 20 miles out the road there to deer hunt. But now we got deer all up in here. Okay, I'm gonna test this one right here. Let's see. Let's get that's about 25 feet from it right there. So let's just walk on an arc around here, out towards the shooting range here, and let's see if it picks me up. There we go. Y'all think that'll run the deer off? I know it will. Oh look, there's no deer tracks. Okay, y'all, here we are out here at night. See if it sets off at night. Oh yeah. So as we said, do you want to defend your property against deer? How big a property you got? These little units may not be enough for you. You'll have to size it up. Would it be worth buying the 8 unit? Absolutely, absolutely. For $134, you could put over around a pretty good sized garden with that. I don't need 8 units here, but if I ever find deer coming in from the opposite end up down here where I don't have it censored, then that may be something I look at, buying 4 more units. But I wanted to show y'all, I didn't want to get away without showing. I mean, y'all been hearing crows all over the place here. We bought this crow when we first planted some garden vegetables in this land. We bought this crow to keep the crows out because the crows were coming in here and they were just running roughshod over my garden. And every time you looked out here, there's 4 or 5 crows. Well, I would say I paid, this is the Moody K, I think is the name of it. What is up with these names? Moody K. In Chinese, that must stand for, hey, keep the crows away. It's a styrofoam crow. And it's got what looks like real bird feathers on it there. The only thing I can have to say, and I bought this about 3 months ago, so I will give you a report on it now that everything still looks good. I got some kind of spider laid his eggs on his beak there. But if you look at it up close here, some of the styrofoam is showing. Does that bother me? If you had a dead crow, it would probably be more than that showing on it. So instead of me going out here and killing a crow and trying to hang it up and that thing stinking up the hill, I bought this $21.99 with tax and everything from Amazon. I'm gonna put the link to the crow down there in my description. I tell you what, since I've bought this crow, I have not seen a crow in the garden, okay? Now, if you look all up in these woods, I do see crows laying up yonder by them stumps and around the edge of the woods there. I see them up there. And I've even seen them here in the grass taking a look at old Elmer here, as I call him. It's Elmer hanging in his position here on this little staff there. And they probably looking to say, is that a real crow, or is that old cousin Leroy, or whatever they saying. But I haven't seen a crow out in the garden. So I'm gonna tell you that I think that's a good purchase right there. So we presented you with a couple of deterrents here, one for the crow and especially a big deterrent for the deer. Is that something you might be interested in? Again, I say I'm not making any money from these companies. I'm not on their payroll or anything. I bought this for my own benefit and they both have worked. Something you might want to check into. Y'all stay tuned for a few more videos we got coming up, and hopefully you'll find something that you like. Until we see y'all again, hey, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe, that like, and that bell notification. We'll see y'all out here before too long with another video. Until then, God bless you, and we'll see y'all down the road.